Hello, everybody. Welcome to Is This a Ghost? I'm Clayton Smith, and every week I tell a real ghost story from real history to my real friend, Patrick Dean, who doesn't take it real seriously and who decided to wait until minute, let's see here, 25 of the recording today to remind me that I had not done the intro, which is, it's not Patrick's fault. That's my fault.
I was seeing how far you would go, and we got pretty far.
I will go all the way. It's so funny. Truly, literally, every single week I have intro is the first bullet point
right
on my notes. I never read it.
Do you need to write out the whole intro maybe? Just to be like, oh, that's a thing that I need to do.
I guess so.
Maybe.
I'll try that next week, I guess. Sorry to our poor editors. They do this job for free.
Is it a really small button? There you go. You got it.
My optometrist and I are still at loggerheads. Yeah. Is what we are.
Is he saying your eyes are too small, or is it your head is too big?
It's he's trying to decide.
There's a peer-reviewed study going on right now, and we're praying like hell. It's a nice shirt. Who bought that shirt for you?
You got a nice shirt.
Oh, hey, thanks. I like mine. Actually, came with cat hair already on it, which I appreciated. That was nice.
Oh well, yes. So I meant to talk to you about that. So as you know, because you are wearing it, I bought you a Too Fast Too Curious shirt, and I brought it down here one day to show you during our recording. Forgot promptly and never did, and instead it was behind me on the guest bed here, and that is Taco's favorite place to hide from humans. And so she did spend a lot of time nuzzled up on your shirt, so it's authentic.
It's the shirt feels like it was curioused pretty hard.
And do your cats love that?
They do. There was only a little bit of hissing at the mail when I brought it in today, so that's normal. There's even a nice little "Is This a Ghost" logo drawn on the back of the mailer. So I don't know if that was you or the postman. I'm not sure, but
I think it's probably the postman. I think must be a fan. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
It really was.
Look what I'm wearing. Do you see my shirt? I don't know if you can see my shirt.
Oh, it looks similar to my shirt.
It's I would say it's exactly the same, except 17 sizes larger.
I think we each chose our sizes correctly. I think so. We did a good job.
I think so. Did I tell you the story about getting these already? Have we talked about and the mail coming poorly and such for this one? Does any of this sound familiar? I've had a bad run of luck with clothes in the mail lately.
Okay.
I thought we talked about the Old Navy kerfluffle. Did we talk about that one?
Doesn't ring.
Gosh. All right. Let me take you on a journey, my friend.
A lot to catch you up on.
Oh boy, if you don't want to hear this, fast forward to minute 50. So
we'll tread water here for a little while.
So I have this new job in Virginia, and I visiting there. It's like, oh, these are not art school people. They wear blazers and sport coats and things,
Oh, okay. With patches and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like real university.
It's like a job.
Yes. So, which I am unaccustomed to. So I thought, well, I should buy some of these. So one of the only places I can buy any kind of clothes at all is the Old Navy Gap experience, because they have tall sizes that actually fit me.
Oh.
Otherwise, I have to buy like bespoke clothing, and I am still a teacher, so I don't have that money. So I've been ordering like these blazers on Old Navy as they come up on sale, and I keep ordering. So I ordered one, and it went to my St. Louis address, which I have not had for now 2 years.
Right.
It's confusing. So I said, hey, this didn't come to me. I don't know why you sent it here, but my default is clearly my current address, but can you resend it? And I was like, well, we'll cancel it and reorder it. That's okay. So I did that. And then meanwhile, I'd also ordered another blazer, a second blazer, to come to my house. And so the second order came to my house. It said it's delivered, and I check and it's not there. What the fuck? So I look at my confirmation email, and it's like, oh, we delivered it to 2536 Elmwood Avenue, which is several houses down the street.
Sure.
That's weird. Okay, well, I guess I'll just walk to a stranger's house and and steal a package off his porch. So I walk down there, and there, of course, is the package on his porch, and so I pick it up. But I don't want to just like be the guy who steals packages, and he's got a Ring doorbell, so I really don't want to be the guy who steals packages. on a Facebook page somewhere. So I ring the doorbell, and the guy comes to the door, and I was like, "Hi, this is mine. Sorry, I'm Clayton Smith. I don't know why this came here, but it's mine." And he didn't speak English, so it was a tough exchange. But eventually we figured out, like, this is, I'm just letting you courtesy.
Yeah, I'm letting you know I'm stealing shit off your porch because you don't speak English.
Yeah. Well, oh gosh, I wonder, now that you say it that way.
Como se dice, I am stealing shit off your porch.
Como se dice, go back home. No, of course not, Patrick. Of course not. Why would you say that? So I tell him, I was like, "Oh, this is me." And so we finally communicate, and he goes, "Oh, I have more for you." And I said, "More what?" He said, "Hold on." And he goes, and he pulls out 3 more packages. Okay. Well, all with my name on them from Old Navy. I'm like, what the fuck? And he gives them to me. He's like, "This you?" And I said, "Yeah, yep, it is." So weird. So I bring it back to my house. I open them up.
Am I getting scammed now? I'm really confused. What's going on now? Thought I was scamming this guy out of a blazer.
This guy's very good. He's very good.
You open up, it's just like an auto loan. Like, fuck, I got another auto loan.
So I come back to my house. I open them up, and one is my blazer that I'm expecting. That's great.
Awesome. Great.
The second one is my first blazer.
Oh.
That they had sent to St. Louis, and I hadn't even reordered it yet. But it somehow got rerouted back to the wrong address on my street. And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, this is good." I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I opened the third package. It's a second gray blazer. It's the second blazer order was this gray one.
Right.
I got another one of those. I didn't order 2 of them, but I was sent 2. Even though I never complained, I never had a problem with the first one. They sent me 2 separately. Now I have 2 of them. One of them is free. And then the 4th package is a child's medium Beastie Boys t-shirt.
Oh, that'll come in handy.
Which at least the other things I had ordered at some point in some form. And it's just alone in its package, and there's no but it's from Old Navy, and it's a child's medium Beastie Boys shirt.
Every 4th order is a grab bag from the clearance bin at Old Navy.
Who is running the fulfillment line at Old Navy these days?
You get paid by the package, obviously.
So that was crazy. So that all happened, and then I finally the next day I received our Too Fast Too Curious shirts, and I opened them up, and I bought you some, and I bought me one, I bought Aaron one. So I opened it up, and mine was in there. This one, as you see now, it's very stylish and great. This XL, and then the other 2 were extra small. Oh, now you and Aaron both were medium,
right?
And they had sent me the wrong one, so I told them, and they're like, "Oh, we'll send you those. We'll fix that." So then they sent 2 new mediums, and now I just have 2 extra small, Too Fast Too Curious shirts that are too big for my kids, but too small for anyone else that I know.
Did you check if your neighbor could fit into them? Because I mean, it's only fair.
¿Quieres gatos?
Yeah, ¿quieres gatos?
I think is the proper way to start that conversation.
¿Dos gatos? ¿Dos camisas con dos gatos?
So this is what's happening with clothing and textiles in my house. So
we're a real tight ship there, sounds like.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. But I'm glad you received it finally.
Absolutely.
Pre-cat haired and all.
Appreciate it. Looking through the basement, and I'm drinking all the beer now. It claims it is a pale ale.
That's big pale ale energy right there. Yeah. Confirm?
It's the best one yet.
Is that Aldi?
That's the best Aldi beer yet. The green one. I don't know what the fuck it is, but the green. If you go into Aldi, the green one is pretty good. One.
I had an Aldi beer that was pretty good. Oh, it was their pumpkin beer last fall. Oh, I thought, I'll give that a shot.
Sure.
And it's fine, which is pretty good.
Yeah, for
Aldi.
Passable. Okay, well, you go in the upper half.
We do use their wine a lot. Like, we'll use it for cooking, but then like also, sneak some swigs.
Yeah, I'll use it for like christening ships and stuff like that. But that's all. That's
and then put your mouth underneath it as it breaks, and you get some glass in there. But mostly it's fine, and it's bad. Also, actually, is I guess the point of that story.
Thanks.
Anyway, so We have some big news, Pat. Big news. Big news in Ghostland.
Really?
We have a date now for Ghost Plus.
Oh man, I'm so glad you stuck with that name.
Yeah, I didn't want to, but I was outvoted. You and Jen, and it's funny. I talked to Ryan. So Ryan and I had been tossing around names before you and Jen and I talked about it. And I had said Ghost Plus, and he was like, obviously not. And I said, no, that was clearly a joke. So he was very anti Ghost Plus, and I was.
And Jen and I both like, that's the best name we've ever heard.
Well, and then next time I saw Ryan, I was like, yeah, we talked about Ghost Plus. He's like, man, I like Ghost Plus actually. And I was like, ah, fuck. Well, yeah, that's it now. That's it. So, big news for Ghost Plus. We have a date. It's being released on the Ides of May 15th.
Wow. And
I know our calendar, this is going to be surprising because of how we record these things, but that means as the listener flies, it's today.
Today's the day.
Today's the day. As if you're listening to this podcast, Ghost Plus is now available. And I'm very excited. It's going to be real weird and real good.
Go away.
No. Hey, Gloria.
Your goddaughter is down here, and she is scurrying is the best way I can describe it.
It was very mouse-like.
Yeah.
She has no idea what it is.
Okay.
What does she got? What is she doing?
Sign the release on your way up. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So Ghost Plus is coming, and I'm so excited. So I think we've talked about this before, but just to make it clear. So here's what's going to launch with Ghost Plus. It's our paid subscription plan for super fans of Is This a Ghost? Obviously, you don't want to do it, no problem. You can still get every episode of Is This a Ghost for free, as normal. But if you want a little extra taste, what's happening? What's happening on your stairs?
This is the third person that's walked into this podcast.
It's been 10 minutes. Sorry, Jeremy and Jen. Good luck.
If you could just put a blur in this region, I would appreciate it.
Oh boy. But if you want something special, if you're a big fan of Is This a Ghost, and you want a little bit more, wet your beak a little bit, then you can join Ghost Plus for $5.99 a month, and what you'll get for that is quite a few things. Number one, an extra ghosty every month from Patrick and me. An extra episode of a brand new podcast that Ryan and I are doing. Producer Ryan and I are starting a new show called Smith Show. We're doing it once a month just for Ghost Plus listeners. And let me tell you, we recorded 4 episodes last Friday. We steamrolled through 4 totally bananas episodes. It's the show is the same format as Is This a Ghost, but no ghosts and no Patrick. And instead, I tell Ryan just a very, very bizarre true story from history. And he responds pretty well. He's no Patrick, but it's a different thing. So that's a ton of fun. And then we're hoping that you'll join us for some of those episodes, Pat. We think it's a potentially good episode to talk about your 1800s train disasters, maybe.
I would love to speak at length about 1800s train disasters.
So that's going to be part of it. The ghosties are part of it. Members also get a 10% forever discount on any merch on the ITAG store. What else? Gosh, there is going to be a special merch section just for members. If you want to buy members only merch, you could do that. Wow. That'll be rotating probably every month or so. See how that goes. You also have a special AMA section in your subscription, so we can do an AM. You ask questions, and we will get together at some point and answer them for you in a special episode. And there's this other additional bonus content. So Ryan and I went to New Orleans recently. We had a weird interview with a bartender at a haunted bar. That'll be on there eventually. Ryan and I have also done a seance at a super haunted hotel in Chicago. We brought a medium down to do a real honest-to-goodness seance in a very haunted hotel room. We'll put the audio for that into here. And we'll just do kind of some random fun things like that. And members also get access for free to our any of the Is This a Ghost live recording events that we do, which I think we'll try to do every few months or so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it's a ton of stuff. It's super fun. Obviously, ghosties are, you know what to expect from ghosties. They're bananas and they're so fun. The new show with Ryan is it's ridiculous. It is this show just not haunted, basically. So very fun stuff there. And if you want to, you can go now. You can find links on our social media. You can go to isthisaghost.supercast.com. Is that right? Or is that wrong? Yeah, that's right. Isthisaghost.supercast.com to sign up, or you can go to our website. We'll have by then I'm sure we'll probably have some sort of link on our website to do this. What do you think, Pat? You excited? You nervous?
Man,
you worried about the extra workload?
I don't, it's not work for me. It's a passion. So
that sounds nice.
No, I'm a little worried about any of our listeners that have built up such a tolerance. Is this a ghost that they need more to get that same feeling?
It's,
we gave you a taste and now you're back.
It's, and really that's we trust all our listeners to know their limit, and we can't really be held responsible for that. We are the Marlboro men of audio content, and end of statement. The other thing people will get, and this may go without saying, but just so you know, so Pat and I also, back in the early days of this show, we recorded several ghosties already, and some of you have heard them already, but most of you have not. So we're going to throw those up there too. So we have one on, we're going to put the Catskills crowing up there. That's going up there for good for the canon. We have one on Lucy Lou and the Futon Fuck Ghost.
Oh my God, I forgot about that
one. I listened to today for the first time in over a year, and it is great. It is amazing. We have, of course, the one people have been clamoring to hear. We're finally going to give it to them. The Elsa doll ghost.
Oh no, yeah.
That's coming back. We'll probably put Jeff the mongoose up there.
Good.
Who else? What else is there? There's one more. What other ghosty did we do? Gosh, I should have come prepared for this, shouldn't I?
Magic of editing will make you look more prepared. Or Jeremy could hang you out to dry and put like a 12-minute pause in here.
Yeah, well, he's on vacation, so he might not have a lot of time when he comes back.
Well,
let's see. Oh, I guess that's it. 3. Yeah, that's fine. That's enough. That's fine. Maybe that was all. I don't know.
Right, guys? That's enough, right? We don't need more.
It feels like a lot. And then the first one that you'll see of the Smith show is an episode about milk transfusions.
Thank you for not putting that on this show.
You are welcome. Blood transfusions, but with milk, which was a real thing. I like that if she comes down slowly, she thinks we can't see her.
I'm not a Tyrannosaurus. I can see you. What do you want? What do you want? And the cats come tumbling after. Fantastic.
This is great. This is going really well.
Very professional. You're getting Christmas wrapping paper. You're interrupting the podcast because you want to get Christmas wrapping paper.
It is May 6th.
A half hour after bedtime.
On May 6th.
Is June in bed? Then it's a half hour after bedtime. All right, whatever. We'll start doing.
I think she now determines her own bedtime. That feels like a conversation that you two are going to have that I don't want to be a part of.
Go upstairs. Good night. I love you.
Bye, Gloria.
Not a word. Cool.
Well, she didn't hear me, so.
Sure,
if she heard me. If she heard me, I'm sure she would have said good night. Oh boy. Anyway, so Ghost Plus is coming. It's here actually as you hear this, so check it out. It's super fun. Cancel if you try it once. If you don't like it, you can cancel it. But please don't cancel it because we have so many children to feed.
Cats. Buying the expensive food for the cats.
Yeah, our cats would love to have the real deal. Right now, it's the little packing popcorn peanuts, and it does the trick. But yeah, they would love some real food. What about you? You got any announcements or anything to share today?
I don't think so. No, we survived the week without Amy.
She's back.
That was touch and go. Yeah, she's back. Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
She was in Honduras. Now she's not in Honduras. That's exciting. That's good news.
That's got to feel great.
Yeah. But yeah, So we made it.
Okay. Very good. I'm very excited. I always get very nervous for you when I see the Instagram post of her on a plane.
Like, what has he done this time?
I think, oh no. I hope she's coming back, and I hope it's after 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's get into it. But before we get into the story, special thanks this week to social media manager Kai Valonis.
Mm.
So Kai, I'm very busy. Mm-hmm. I'm very busy.
Of course.
It's finals week now for my job for the last time at this job.
You're on your annual move. So
move, and we're remodeling a bathroom. We found someone to remodel the bathroom. He's doing a great job.
Wonderful.
But it's been very stressful. But he's thank God for him. But we got a lot going on. And Kai had mentioned at one point that she had been taking some notes on ghosts just in case I ever needed help.
Wow.
And I said, yes, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I said, this is a great, do you actually was that a real thing? Because I could really use some. And so she sent me a folder a few days ago with 5 documents in it.
What?
2 complete notes and then 3 that were in progress.
Whew.
Now, first of all, the fact that she has any in progress means she's doing a lot more research than I do because it doesn't take more than one sitting to do this job. So I read a couple of hers, and they are very good. She has found some excellent stories. Now, there's one that we're gonna do next week. I was gonna do it for this week, but I was in the kind of the same camp as Jen's Red Rock story, where it's so bananas that I was like, there are a few more stones I want to turn over. So thank you so much to Kai. She submitted a story that we're gonna do next week. And it's gonna be unlike anything we've done so far.
Oh.
Let's just say that. So get ready, everybody.
Gird my loins.
Please do. Gird them tight. Gird them. What's the right?
I don't know what girding
adjective for girding.
I'm not sure. Is it like flexing? Is it clutching?
Should we ask ChatGPT?
Is it releasing? Yes. Just ask. Yes. How do I gird?
How does one gird?
How does one
gird loins? Oh, I should say gird. How does one gird one's loins? To be clear, girding one's loins is a phrase originating from ancient times when people wore loose, flowing garments like tunics to prepare for physical labor or battle. They would need to secure those garments to avoid them getting in the way. Here's how they would do it. Number 1, tuck the tunic into a belt. Number 2, arrange the fabric. There's like a detail.
But those aren't loins. I mean, I don't know if ChatGPT knows this, but that's not where your loins are.
How do you think I should describe loins to ChatGPT so it really understands? Yeah, it just feels like it's making your long outfit shorter.
Right. Yeah, I know how to do that.
That's not girding loins.
I know how to tuck in my shirt.
Yeah. I know how to hike up a dress.
Yeah. Huh. Well, fair enough.
It's disappointing.
Anyway,
put a strap around your balls, everyone. It's going to be a great story next week. Oh boy. But we have a different story this week. So here's one that I had half finished when I asked Kai for help, and then I saw hers and I was like, well, I don't want to waste hers on not being, I want to do some more. And then I said, well, I have 30 minutes to wrap this one up. So it's probably fine. You ready for a ghost story?
Like, sure. The ink is still wet on this one then, I guess.
In 2013, a psychic named Kathleen Johns visited an old museum near Bozeman, Montana. You ever been to Bozeman?
I've not been to Montana, period. It's one of the few. One of the few.
Yeah, Bozeman's supposed to be a great town. I've heard very good things.
Interesting. What is Bozeman known for?
There's a college there.
Okay.
Which makes it mostly better than most places in Montana, I think.
I would stand a reason.
The illiterate run rampant. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a kind of a cool hippie college town in surrounded by mountains and ranches and stuff.
Isn't it so odd that even in like the deepest red, like, type state, there's always like, oh, well, then if you go into this, or like most populous, center of young free thinkers, it's like a utopia.
It's weird. It's like
if you get 10 miles outside of that, it says guys punching jackrabbits in the highway. So you pick what you want.
It's interesting. You go to where all the people are, and that's where good stuff happens.
Right.
You go to where there's no one, and that's just lawless insanity. I don't know. Draw your own conclusions, I guess, from that. So she goes to the museum. There was talk of the museum being haunted, but Kathleen, even though she was a psychic, she wasn't working. She was just passing through.
Okay. Not on the job. Not on the clock.
Yep. Correct. Yep. So she thought she'd stop in since she was close and just check it out, but not doing a seance.
Yeah. Did she say that when she walked in? She's like,
hey, everybody.
Hey, hang on. I'm just here to use the ladies' room. I'm not here to do a seance.
Calm down, ghosts.
Then she walks in. There's like a pentagram on the floor of the ladies' room. Like, oh, come on. No,
come on,
guys.
God, no. You're not going to draw me in
not
like
happening.
This. No, not this time. Not again. So the owner gives her a tour of the old building, and it goes great. Kathleen thanks him for his time. She returns home to Bozeman, and that night, as she's getting ready for bed, a woman in 1970s clothing enters her bedroom.
Ooh, so hipster.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's back. I think it's back in style again. Again.
I mean, this isn't really very jarring.
No, it's just someone breaking into her house.
Yeah.
Yes. No, but this is Kathleen. Kathleen sees it, but she can see through her, so she knows this is a ghost who had followed her home from the museum.
Ooh, you don't hear a lot about mobile ghosts.
No,
it's not usually a feature of the ghost.
That's correct. So this sets off some alarm bells for our friend Kathleen. And she talks to the ghost and she says, "Who are you?" And the ghost does not respond, but Kathleen is very firm with her and says, "You don't live here, get out." And the ghost disappears.
Poof.
This is the power of being a medium. You know how to do it.
It's like that guy that like the dog whisperer guy that just like tell
Caesar Milan.
Yeah, just Caesar. He's the Caesar Milan of.
You gotta tell the ghost. You gotta pinch him in the neck and go.
Then lay down on top of the ghost to assert dominance, and then your ghost problems go away pretty quick.
So Kathleen goes to bed. Ghost dispatched. The next morning, though, her phone rings and she picks up. It's the owner of the museum.
Oh.
And he said, quote, "What the hell did you do here yesterday? My cleaning crew left mid-shift and said they're never coming back." I have a... Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. That was right. I'm so excited. By the way, I'm so excited for my new job. I think they're going to give me autonomy over my own computer. And so I think I might be able to download new sound effects. And I can't wait. Because that would have been great for a classic dun, 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 So coming soon.
If only we had an audio editor that could do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess that's true.
I've had a hard day. Out.
For a lot of today, producer Ryan will attest because I did this while talking to him. I thought it was June. And then for a lot of today, for another part of the day, I thought it was May. Or no, March. It is May. I thought it was March.
Yeah.
So
all this IDS talk.
It's getting to my head. It's got me all fucked up. So today's going great. Anyway, so let's go back a bit. In 1874, a man named William L. Farland finds silver in southwest Montana. He's very excited because there is no one in Montana at this point.
Yeah. He's like, I better find something up here because I am going to die.
Can I eat silver? Yeah. I will find out because I am so hungry. He stakes a claim and he sets up an operation around what he then called Asteroid Mine, which is a pretty cool name for a mine.
I'd visit.
I like it a lot.
If you're driving down the highway and you see Asteroid Mine next right.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there is not shit else up here. I'm pretty sure I'll stop off at the Asteroid Mine.
So he's got it all to himself for a while, but obviously news of a good silver strike is going to spread. So it's not too long before there's a flood of folks setting up shop nearby. So there's officially a rush in southwest Montana. People are mining for silver, of course, but they're also mining for gold. Some folks are finding gold there. And it's just going crazy. And all those miners need services. So a little town pops up. And the locals refer to this settlement as Butte City.
Butte City.
Butte City. You know it today probably is just Butte.
Butte, Montana.
Montana.
Spelt like a butt.
Looks like butt. It's very funny. So Butte was already a productive gold and silver town because of all this activity, but things really got booming in the late 1800s, like even later in 1800s, when electricity was discovered.
Wait, hang on. That's not how electricity works. You aren't just like, oh, we got some silver deposit and a gold. Oh, look, an electricity deposit. This is going to work out so nicely.
I got an electricity mine, Dead. I would like you to prove that electricity does not come from the ground, because here's what I'll tell you. The wires that run to my house, guess where they come up out of? The ground. Good luck explaining that one away.
Maybe you should get a fucking shovel then, because you...
No, there's electricity under there. I will not. That's where it lives.
Do you want to retire right now or not?
They had wooden shovels back then, so it didn't really didn't hurt them. But now, the shovels are metal. I'm not gonna do that. No, so there's not electricity in the ground. However, what there is in the ground, in addition to silver and gold, is a little mineral thing called copper.
Oh, it's a conductor of electricity, don't you know?
Which I hear is a conductor of electricity. So
it'd be pretty dangerous if you discovered copper and electricity next to each other in the ground. that would be big hurt right there.
And that's when the entire state turned black. It was weird, and nothing has grown there since. End of story. So electricity is discovered. Copper is in high demand suddenly because it's a great conductor of said electricity. And turns out there is a shit ton of copper in Butte, and no one cared about it before because it was pretty worthless before. But once everyone now needs it for electricity, like holy shit, it's and it's everywhere. It's in much more abundance than gold and silver put together in this area.
Yeah, like stop cranking out all those pennies over there. We got something much better to do with all this copper now.
So they get into it. Shit pops off. Quote, in 1888 alone, mining operations in Butte had generated an almost inconceivable output of $23 million worth of ore. And that's $23 million in 1888 numbers. Yep. Do you want to even try to guess how much money that is today?
I'm going to say $1 billion.
You're not too far off. $779,995,556. So well over $750 million in just 1 year in the middle of nowhere, Montana.
Where are you going to spend it at?
Oh my God.
I mean,
well, it's an interesting question that's going to tie back in actually to what we're talking about today. So the town is exploding. And more people, of course, move to Butte just to mine the shit out of it. And it's just like the town is experiencing exponential growth. Really wild. So all these people are there now. And where you got hard work, you also got hard men.
I'm sorry.
And pretty soon a red light district.
I gotta leave. Yeah, well.
You work I work with a white collar man in a blue collar job.
Yeah.
You get you're aroused constantly.
Sure.
You're fully erect as you go through your day.
I work in the hydraulics industry. It's like literally dick jokes from
nothing
sun up
but
to sundown.
innuendo.
Nothing but dick jokes.
So in the 1870s, a group of women called the Ladies of the Line start selling sexual services along Park Street in the north end of Butte.
They like unionize or something? How do they make are they like a gang?
Sort of.
Okay. Yeah.
Sort of. There's a group, and they are very concentrated into like a few blocks of this one street.
Okay.
So I just
somewhere between a gang and a union of
not quite so organized. Well, you'll get the gist in a second here. So the ladies in the line become very popular very quickly. Unsurprisingly, I think, yeah. They operated out of tents and shacks, and things were great for them business wise. I can't speak for
I can't speak for hygiene, but wise.
But they were doing really good business. But once, there were some enterprising entrepreneurs around Butte who started noticing how successful these girls were, and they were like, "Well, we could disrupt that industry." For sure.
Oh no! Is this did they discover Tech Bros down there too? Is that what happened?
Yeah, this is the yes, this is Tech Bros. And so a few entrepreneurs, they bought up a bunch of that property, and they chased the Park Street girls away. So you get out of here. Take your tents, take your shacks.
Right.
Yes. Go on. You have a question.
Yeah. Those guys are pretty sure that area was so popular because of the land, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't get why everybody keeps going into the tents, but it looks very valuable. Let's buy all the tents.
It must be the altitude up here. People
all these stinky girls out of here, though. Ooh, terrible.
Well, so they know that I would hazard a guess that in the 1870s, the typical Butte Montanan sex customer.
John.
Oh yes, John.
We made a name for it. Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna mind much who the girls are, but he knows where the girls are, and that's important.
Okay.
Right. So they buy up this property, and they finish. And they close down the tents, they close down the shacks, and they start to build permanent sex dungeons.
Well, this just takes all the fun out of it. I mean, the thrill of being in a Coleman 5-person tent on the side of the road.
Yeah, sounds real exciting.
Spending my 20 cents as fast as I can.
So now we've learned a lot about your insight into how sex works, and that's been really helpful for all of us, I think. So they kick the girls out, and they build better houses, better brothels, permanent brothels. By 1888, about 10 years later, East Galena Street, which is one street south of Park, was completely lined with brothels. Quote, in fact, nearly every building on the street housed prostitution. Again, there are a lot of, I assume, single / morally bankrupt minors here.
Is this going to turn out like the ant and the grasshopper fable, where like they all starved to death over the winter? They're like, but we kept building brothels. What happened here?
They're not going to starve of sex. I'll tell you that for sure.
No, absolutely
that's going to
not.
keep them sustained for a long time.
They're going to be like, we were supposed to use all this lumber to build something like a grain storage. No.
I can't remember, but
yeah. Anyway, I ran out of nails for my sex dungeon. Can you go buy some more from the store?
Well, let's see what happens. So this part of town comes to be known as the Twilight Zone.
Really?
Which really changes that show. Yeah. A lot, actually. Rod Serling was a real freak. People got very wealthy owning brothels, as you might expect, and some very wealthy people got into brotheling.
There's no way. There's no way.
My notes app does have a little squiggly red line under that word, but I don't know. I feel pretty confident that
I think it's also probably worth the argument of whether brotheling means spending a night visiting the brothels, or whether it means the construction of brothels as a commercial opportunity.
Look, I'm happy to have that conversation as long as we can all agree that brotheling then must be a word. So he gets into brotheling, and business is banging. Do you hear what I said?
I did.
Got a lot of hiccups over there.
And now it doesn't fall over when it starts banging, which is convenient, I guess.
Yeah. Now now, let's see. Gosh, I always say this. Can't think you say this on podcast. Oh, those old balls aren't the only things flapping, are the only things flapping in the wind. And that's a reference to tent flaps, you know? Mm-hmm. Jeremy, just cut that, I guess. That's probably...
I was going to be a lot grosser with my reference to tent flaps, but you go right ahead, buddy.
So business is going great there, and people are making a ton of money. Mm-hmm. And two French-Canadian brothers named Joseph and Arthur Nadeau, mm-hmm. they decide they want in on that action. Mm-hmm. So they start buying some of the brothels.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where their money comes from, but they're just they're acquisitions.
Sure.
So they're buying brothels, which is beneficial for them. They're making a lot of money, mm-hmm. but and they soon become the majority owners of the red light district.
Oh, get voting rights? That's important.
I think so. Mm-hmm. I think so. That HOA is looking pretty good for them, tilted in their favor. So they love running these sweet little sex shacks, but what they really want is to make a name for themselves with something new, something unique, something special. They want to build their own brothel that is better than any brothel that anyone has ever seen in Butte, Montana.
Interesting. They want to be on the cutting edge.
Yes, indeed.
They want this to be the gold standard.
Correct. That's correct.
Or the golden standard.
There's a shower joke in there somewhere. It's tough. It's tough.
In fact, if you want to pay for the golden standard, it costs twice as much.
And you have to bring your own towel.
Yeah. We don't supply the towels.
So in 1890, the brothers build a brand new brothel and they name it the Dumas.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Dumas.
I guess it looks less suspicious on your expense report.
Let me tell you what it looks like when you're researching this in the year of our Lord 2024. It looks like you are researching the dumbass brothel in Butte. Yeah. So it has been quite a joy to work on this story this week.
Did you mean? No, I did not mean. Did you mean? No, I did not mean that either. No. Know how to spell.
So it's a Dumas Brothel in Butte, which just took a lot of work to get through every time I saw it. And it was named the Dumas because they named it after one of the brothers, after Joseph's wife. Her maiden name was Dumas, and there's no greater love than to name your whorehouse after your wife. Oh man. So it's like if you open a strip club, you should call it the Amy.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I think so.
That's good. It'll be very convenient because I'll have to live there. So I'll always remember my wife.
Obviously, that's right.
The name's in neon right above my bedroom.
Babe, I'm building this brothel, yeah. But I'm going to name it after you, babe. Why is this lawyer here so fast? How did this happen? What's happening? It's amazing. Anyway, so they open this brothel named after Joseph's wife, and it does very well. The Dumas becomes the pinnacle of brothelry in Butte. And I will say this, brothelry did not have a squiggly red line under it. Thank you very much.
Methinks someone has already done the add to dictionary right click on that one.
What? Would you like to see a picture of the Dumas brothel?
I would love to see what this golden standard is, really.
Well, that's a different... Okay, let me see if I can find that tab.
See if you can find that tab.
Donald Trump, how did you get in this photo? I will show you this. Now, I will warn you, this is the Dumas brothel today. So
it looks even better.
But this is it. Gold standard.
Ooh, buddy, is it getting warm in here or what?
There are so many things I want to point out about this photo. First of all, there were other buildings here. They have been torn down.
Sure, of course.
And actually, I think there may have been a fire at some point, which accounted for much of that. So now it is like a sex shop in a field. Which is weird, but it wasn't like that at the time. Now, I don't know what's going on with the road. It does look like oil.
Mm-hmm. I think this is in the middle of winter, so it's probably just some melted snow on the road there. But yeah, bright red door first off, just so you know.
Red door. Well, red light district, red door,
and okay, with the little speakeasy window in it as well. Very nice, very 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 classy.
That will become important actually later in the story. Good, good pickup.
Interesting. And the lace curtains on the second floor, because apparently it's still a brothel. I don't really know why you would have those.
Well, it's weird. It's a museum, I guess, but you can also
of brothelery or.
It's hard to know because you can also.
It's hard to know. I only made it to the front door and I got really scared.
They would not let me in. I did not know the password. And I said, "Sex, please." And they said, "That's not it."
Brotheling. They said, "No, it's not a word." Brothelery. That is a word, but still not the password.
Not the right word. No, there were like several modern day accounts of people who had stayed here. So they do open it up to like everything. I don't think I included photos of this. The bedrooms still look like bedrooms. They have beds in them and stuff. They don't look like a place you would like to sleep, but they do. And we'll talk about.
This lines up with it being a brothel as well. By the way,
yes, correct.
And you do not.
So
want
it's very authentic. It's very authentic for sure. When you walk out, they walk you through a whole body UV light situation, just in case. We will talk later.
Why are you putting the shower curtain on the bed? You'll see. Do
you not know what this is?
Better for everybody.
We will talk about the reason why one person in particular stays here, but it is all set up still for people to stay there, and sometimes they do let folks stay there, but it's not like an Airbnb experience. I don't know. I have no real answers, but this is the place. Good, great.
Looks lovely.
You want to stick your dick in something in there? Good.
I would. I don't really want to stick my hand in there, honestly. So.
Well, I'm not asking about your hand. So now the building, when it's built, and I guess presumably now also, has a couple of interesting features. There's a private back door that opens up in the alley behind the building. Just trying to get through this, man. Come on.
But you have to wait your turn.
And you have to ask permission.
Yes.
It's private. You got to ask for that permission for sure. This private back door that opens up into the alley behind the building. And that particular alley was known as a pretty typical spot for people of lesser means, let's say, to come and get brotheled.
Oh, in the alley.
Yes. So like if you had money, you go into the house.
Oh, okay.
If you don't, go to the alley.
So this is like Lady and the Tramp. So like if you
go on,
if you can't really afford to go into the really nice Italian restaurant, you sit out in the back alley and you
wait for the trash.
And you eat dinner with your dog. That's
Yeah.
And you're also a dog.
Gosh. Yeah. And the fact that you're also a dog is so important. Yeah. That's such an important point in this analogy.
Otherwise, you're kissing a dog behind a brothel, and they don't let you do that very long before you ask you to leave. So,
well, what if the dog is a real good boy?
I mean, he would have to be. I mean, I don't kiss any dogs that aren't.
Oh boy, I wonder how long it's been since I've seen Lady and Tramp. I think I've seen it once in my life, and as a very young child.
Probably go watch it again.
What if how about this? Okay, I have a pitch now for Ghost Plus. What if like a part of bonus content is you and me watching old Disney movies with commentary live? Is that anything?
I mean, I've seen all of them within the last 3 months, so not
all
gonna be a lot.
I'm sorry, all of them.
All of
You've
them.
seen all of them.
Do you know how many daughters I have?
I know, but do you know how many movies there are?
Of the animated ones, I've probably seen all of them, all the classic animated ones, at least once in the last 3 months.
So which was your favorite, and why was it Song of the South?
It was Aristocats. Was my favorite.
Aristocrats. That's interesting.
It's quite good.
No one has ever said that's their favorite, but that is good.
So good.
You're not a something. You're nothing but a sister. What's that line? That's Aristocats.
Maybe.
Or did you not recently see it?
I don't know. I was drinking. I'm not entirely sure what the plot was. They're cats. They get in trouble. They're not in trouble now. Not a big deal.
Hey, everyone, if you would like to hear Patrick and me do a live commentary of old Disney cartoons, let us know. And I don't know, maybe we'll work that in Ghost Plus. Okay, so anyway, God, where were we? Leading the Tramp.
Leading the Tramp behind the brothel.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
The alley, yeah.
Yeah.
According to Visit Southwest Montana, that alley was known as Pleasant Alley.
Oh.
And then known as Venus Alley.
Okay.
Still makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
Venus, Roman goddess of love. And then finally known as Piss Alley. So
honestly, that's such is life. It begins so pleasant, then fall in love, and finally you're just
gold standard and all over the place. So anyway, the Dumas also had a basement, which later owners were surprised to learn had tunnels running out of it all across Butte.
Wow, probably pretty cold up there though.
Yeah, it's like the Chicago pedestrian walkway, the underground. Yeah,
same thing. Yeah,
sure, probably.
Except that a brothel's the hub of this one.
And also, this is the whole thing. So if you are a banker or something, and you're like, "Oh, it's so cold. I'd love to get my dick wet, but it's so cold outside." Can you say "get your dick wet" in a podcast?
I don't know. Jeremy can bleep it all out.
Okay, great. So anyway, so it's a building with all sorts of cool features. Now, it's hard to pin down some of the details of the early days of the Dumas. Two early boarders, and I guess you could board there. What a life that would be.
I mean, that sounds really expensive.
Both financially and biologically, I think.
How much does it cost just to sit in the corner the whole time? Because...
Two early boarders listed their occupations as gambler and saloon man. What is a saloon man?
It's got to be an offshoot of gambler, right? It has to be.
I don't know. I guess so.
Maybe gambler is an offshoot of saloon man.
Bad superhero.
Yeah.
So by 1900, the Dumas was run by Madame Grace McGinnis. So the Nadeau brothers still own it, of course, but it's being run by a madam now. And this is something that'll continue throughout the rest of the existence of this building. That women will come in and be, kind of overseeing the girls. So Grace McGinnis is there now. Other employees at that time included Grace's servant, also a Chinese cook, and just 4 prostitutes.
Oh.
Fun fact, the cost of sex at the Dumas in 1900 was 50 cents. In today's money, any guesses?
I don't feel as comfortable doing this. I'm going to say that is $25.
You are, again, so close. That is $20. $20.
I just got taken. I just got taken because I was willing to go as high as 25.
How much did they try to charge us for you to have sex with that stripper in Tijuana?
I don't remember. I mean, you got to take inflation into account. It was closer to 50. It was closer to 50 cents.
It was definitely more than $20. Yeah. And we would not pay, obviously.
No, absolutely not. Didn't have my wallet on me.
So the girls received about 40% of that money. So they would get about $8 for every John that they had, which, I mean, and that's in today's money.
Right. Yeah.
Now that's not,
nothing.
That's not, true. Yes. Technically true. Yeah. Also, okay. Well, all right.
I mean, how much do you tip a hairstylist?
I'll tell you what, when I get my hair cut, it costs a baseline $45.
Right.
And look, the best part of that whole experience is the shampooing.
Right. I'm sure.
It's an erotic experience for sure.
I'm sure you could ask. You could ask.
What? Ask what?
No, they not your stylist. You the other, these ladies, they'd probably shampoo you if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, well that's what I'm saying. So so I'm like $45 is a lot of money, and then they shampoo it, and you're like, oh, it's worth it because this is great.
Right? Yeah.
That's not the same level as what you're receiving from these people, and the money is not. I mean, the value. I don't.
Yeah.
Listen, what? I can't keep talking about it. It's fine. Anyway, so here's kind of a fun quote from one of our sources. Despite the size of the brothel, by 1902, Madame McGinnis had only 5 working girls and a musician under her employment. I just, maybe if you want more working girls, you pay them more than like 3 cents to have sex with strangers. It's wild. But at that price, business was booming. So the girls they did have were very busy. So the Nadeau brothers built additional rooms in the basement for more girls to work. They eventually got more girls to come in. Now, these rooms in the basement, they were small because you're subdividing a basement into cattle stalls, basically. And they were called cribs.
Okay.
It's pretty gross. Now, at this point, the Dumas was open 24/7. There were more rooms than girls, and many of the women started working 3 straight shifts.
Ugh.
Yes, indeed. Now, of course, there were many people in Butte who thought the whole red light district idea was a problem, and there were some crusades to try to close it down. But turns out sex is great. People like it a lot, and they're like, this is actually pretty fun. And so the Dumas actually keeps growing and growing. In 1913, they add another structure to the side of the building. And they keep growing. And eventually they have so much business, they turn the building's parlor into cribs too. So now there's not even like a cool place to wait. Yeah. It's just like you be on the sidewalk until it's your turn for a stall.
It sounds like these Japanese pod hotels is what it sounds like. Like, I'm in...
Is that what they're about?
C12. Ah, fuck. All the way down in the basement. All right, fine. We'll go down to C12.
I'm going to wriggle in. You're like a worm, I guess.
I guess do your worst.
Good luck. So everything's going really well for the owners of the brothel. It's hard to say how well things are going or not going for the women in the brothel, but there's certainly plenty of business. Now, soon, though, we hit this problem called World War I.
And those girls got to go to war.
You've got so many STIs that your skin has actually become hardened in a way that we've never seen before, and we could use that.
We're just going to drop you behind enemy lines and let you kind of clear stuff out back there.
Just kind of waft around a while. Oh, no. So, well, actually, a version of that does happen because local politicians are like, well, we keep having all these men who come to the front lines with diseases.
Very itchy. Yeah.
Very itchy. So this is a real problem. And also, we have all these men who are staying behind in Butte to get laid, and we really want them to go get dead in Italy or whatever. So there was a big push to close down brothels, and some of them did. And then after the war, of course, Prohibition hits. And there was this whole kind of national movement toward cleanliness and good upstanding.
Purity.
Puritan values. And so there's a big push around the world to close places like the Dumas. The people in Butte, though, were like, I don't know. We like this a little bit, though. So the town starts shutting down a lot of brothels, but the Dumas keeps going because it is, again, it's a gold standard. It's a piss alley. The piss alley of brothels. It's the fanciest place on the strip, and they keep going. Now, management gets handed down through a handful of different madams, all of whom did pretty well to keep the place going. In 1940, Madame Lillian Walden raised the price of sex finally to $2.
Hang on, they went through a world war and starting a second one before they were like, you know what, we can't keep charging 50 cents for sex.
It may have gone up incrementally.
Have you seen how much a hamburger costs nowadays? This is insane.
It did not keep up with inflation, is what I will say. This is about $40 today. Mm-hmm. It still feels like a pretty solid deal. Mm-hmm. So things are going okay at the Dumas, but in 1943, the U.S. federal government, they hit upon a very specific concern, which is now World War II is here, and American soldiers in World War II are spreading venereal disease everywhere.
Right.
Which you would think would be actually kind of
they also have guns. Good tactic. You realize that.
I don't know, man. DC is like, we can't have this. We have to stop it. So the U.S.
killing a lot of krauts. You're doing a great job there. Big problem is you're also giving all of them gonorrhea, and that we just cannot have.
Yeah, I don't know. You would think. I mean, not that I am pro spreading gonorrhea,
right? Obviously. Yeah.
However, it is weird. Like if you're, knowing the mindset of World War II era generals and such, it's like a chemical weapon. That's a pretty good biological weapon going on there. I don't know.
Maybe they have it so bad that they're like actually spreading it within the Jeep. Like, no, don't sit in that seat over there.
Why are your pants yellow? Oh, no, don't.
Not again. No.
Gross. So DC was like, we have got to stop this. And the U.S. government orders all brothels all over the country shut down. This is when it became illegal to operate a house of prostitution.
They snuck up by everybody during World War II. Well, nobody's paying attention. Nope. All the boys are overseas. They're like, we're going to close down all your toys.
Like, look at these women playing baseball for a little bit. That's fun, right? Close down the good times.
They all come back on those ships like, oh, you know where the first place I'm going to? Ooh. Awkward conversation we're gonna have about your favorite place to go back to.
Please say it's Wrigley Field, because so they close the brothels, but in response, the Dumas begins operating even more furtively, now under the guise of being a boarding house. So they turn to a speakeasy for sex, basically.
Sure.
And it goes pretty well. The Nadeau brothers, they operate the Dumas into the 1950s, which means they are running it for over 60 years.
Wow. Whew. Passionate. Just passionate.
I think that's, yes. Horny as hell. And eventually they're like, dang, we're pretty old. So they sell the Dumas eventually. And it keeps operating. So, and, as we go forward, I want to be clear. Brothels never became legal again after 1943, except there's a few places where they are. Sure. Nevada mostly. Yeah. But very illegal here. But it's just humming along, operating totally illegally and successfully. And the madams are paying off the cops. This goes on for decades. From 1950 to 1955, a woman named Eleanor Knott serves as the madam for the Dumas. Now, while she was there, Eleanor met a man she fell desperately in love with. That's a big mistake. Julia Roberts will tell you, big mistake. Never kiss on the lips. Never fall in love. General consensus among the girls in the brothel was that he was a charlatan, but I don't think they're going to say that to the boss.
Right.
So no one really objects to this whole thing. He does ask Eleanor to run away with him, and so she packs her bags, and she's ready to leave one cold night in February 1955. But her lover never shows.
Oh, no.
Word came that he had skipped town without her, and the next morning, one of the girls, Bonita Warren, found Eleanor's body in her room, and she was dead.
Oh, no.
Quote, her death was ruled to be due to natural causes, yet there were whispers of a suicide or possible murder.
Well.
That's every option, basically. So
either natural or not natural. One of the two.
Maybe she did it. Maybe someone else did it. Hard to say. So we don't know. But Bonita took over as madam after that.
Okay.
So in my mind, there's natural seems impossible. Timing is too weird. Now, suicide seems very possible.
Sure. Yeah.
Possible murder, yes. Either by the beau or by Bonita, who's going to take over as new madam. So, I don't know. I don't know. If this ever becomes a true crime podcast, we should dig into this. Doesn't matter, though. So, Bonita runs the Dumas until 1971, when she dies from cancer, unfortunately. And then the Dumas is then taken over by its final madam, Ruby Garrett. Under Ruby's watch, the girls start seeing the ghost of a woman with a suitcase wandering the halls of the Dumas. And when they approach her, she looks at them sadly, and then she disappears. The men started seeing her too. The men, paying for the sex work. Right. So they stopped coming, and word starts to get around that Dumas is haunted. Business declined. On October 3rd, 1981, then a man breaks into the Dumas brothel looking to rob the place, and he pistol whips Ruby and steals all of their money.
Oh, no.
So things are going badly, obviously. Now the suspect was caught and sent to prison, which is great.
That's great, yeah. But
the downside of this is the whole kerfluffle led to a federal investigation of the Dumas itself, and yada yada yada. The IRS soon convicted Ruby Garrett of tax evasion, and she went to prison for 6 months. And that was the last straw for the brothel. In 1982, the Dumas finally closes down for good. It is the longest operating brothel in U.S. history. 92 years.
Man. Quite a record.
Yeah. People continue, though, to see Eleanor Knott's sad ghost. And they did up until the brothel closed, and people now see it today. It's a museum, sort of. They do let people stay from time to time. Writers and historians will sometimes stay there. A few years ago, an artist visited the Dumas and did a short residency there. She stayed in the room on the second floor for a few weeks. While she was there, she felt compelled to paint the face of a woman she had never met. Every time she sat down at her canvas in her room, she couldn't think of anything to paint except for this very clear mental image of a woman that she did not recognize. So she paints this woman several times before she finally gets frustrated by not having any other inspiration. And she moves to a different room in the brothel. And as soon as she moved, she was able to paint very freely, whatever she wanted. The owner of the Dumas looked at the portraits she had done and immediately recognized the woman as Eleanor Knott, the sad ghost with the suitcase. There are other ghosts in the Dumas as well. There are shadow people who have been seen scurrying from room to room. And then, of course, back in 2013, Kathleen Johns, that psychic from Bozeman, the ghost that followed her home, she said, was the ghost of Bonita, the woman who had found Eleanor dead. She followed Kathleen home that night, and she told her, before Kathleen dispensed of her, that the new owner, whose name I did not write down, was going to save the brothel. And apparently, when that new owner called Kathleen the next morning, they had their conversation. Kathleen relayed that message, and he said, well, that is interesting because we are in a big fight with the city. They want to close us down as a museum / occasional flop house for poor artists. And it's good to hear that I'm going to save it. Wow. And that is the story of the dumbass brothel in Butte. Sorry, the Dumas brothel in Butte.
Oh, wonderful.
What do you think?
I mean, the traveling ghost, new, exciting, very scary.
Yeah.
But it was a sex ghost, so you got
pretty sexy, pretty good.
Yeah, two things going on there.
It's like if you go to a haunted brothel and you're thinking like, you're not expecting anything, but you're like, maybe
if something did happen.
What could you do? Like I'm not at fault, but it doesn't happen. You're like, you're leaving and you're like, it's fine. I didn't expect anything to happen, but little disappointment. Like, gosh, I wish something had happened. Wish I'd made a connection.
Right.
In the way that Dan Aykroyd made a connection with the ghost in Ghostbusters.
And then you look in the rearview mirror on the way home and you realize,
it's on.
It's on.
What a great feeling that must be. Well, go ahead.
No, I'm spent.
Well, this story rode you hard, put you away wet. So I guess all that's left to say is that Is This a Ghost is a production of Smith Show Media. The notes this week were taken by me, Clayton Smith. All the funny jokes are made by Patrick Dean. Our audio editor is Jeremy Montoya. Our video editor is Jen Swanson. Our social media editor is Kai Valonis. And gosh, please just don't have sex with anything in an old brothel, because if you do, we're going to definitely talk about you next week on Is This a Ghost?
Ugh.